How's it going, everybody? Sin City Zombie here. So, oddly enough, this is a bit of a different video, and yes, I know it's definitely out of the ordinary for me to even be talking about this, especially since, well, I'm not typically like a debunking guy. However, if you look back far enough in my videos, or you're just that much of an OG, you'll probably know that about like 6 or 7 years ago, talking about Flat Earth was actually my first foray into making commentary videos. I know, it's shocking, it's hilarious, it's pretty funny. But, I think probably the funniest thing is that, well, the entire idea behind this video ended up starting because I was talking with one of my friends. He apparently plans on making a video on, I think, a different flat earther or something along those lines, and I got the brilliant idea to redo a response to this video from, well, at this point about like 8 years ago, titled Flat Earth in 5 minutes. Now, yes, again, it's basically just content slop at this point that I'm kind of making, but of course, while I'm still working on like 2 videos, both of which revolving around like the same situation, just different sets of people involved in it to different degrees and different levels of stupidity, I feel like I might as well at least try to get something to at least fill in that void, so that way, like, you know, the algorithm doesn't completely fucking kill my channel. So I'm, you know, making this, one, because I feel like redoing the response now that I have a lot more knowledge and a lot more confidence nowadays. But I'm also making this just so that way the algorithm doesn't fucking completely nuke my channel out of existence, so, you know, there you go. But of course, I decided to look up this video. Oddly enough, it still exists, even after about, like, 8 years. The like-to-dislike ratio is about as abysmal as I thought. I thought I might as well at least check on this guy's channel to see if he's even been active, and oddly enough, his latest post is from 3 fucking years ago, and it's titled The First Flat Earth Documentary. I can only imagine just how fucking terrible that video must have actually been for him to have quite literally not uploaded anything in 3 years. But, let's not waste any more time. Let's redo our response to Flat Earth in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry, but I already have to, like, you know, point something out here. Their tagline of "learning is fun" is just so bitterly ironic because, again, they're a Flat Earth channel from what I've seen. What are you fucking learning? The only thing that you're learning here is that people apparently still believe in this fucking garbage. That's just probably the most disappointing thing about today's society, is that we still have people dumb enough to believe in the Flat Earth conspiracy, like...
Water, when unmanipulated, is to find its level. So whether you look at a cup of water, a bathtub, a swimming pool, a lake, or the ocean, it's flat.
Okay, well, already, just like in the first like 10 or so seconds, there's already just so much to fucking unpack here, because, well, that's not even entirely the case whenever it comes to water. Like, you see, the main thing with, you know, water, and of course, you know, his little horizon line here could very easily just debunk the entire flat earth theory just in general, but we'll get into that one later, as there's an even more egregious showcase of just how little he actually understands about how the horizon on Earth actually works here later on. But, like, the first 3 examples here are so unbelievably terrible because, well, the first 3 examples aren't even large enough to even show fucking curvature, dude. Like, a cup, a bathtub, a pool, a fucking lake, those fucking things are definitely not going to be large enough to actually be able to show a proper curve of the Earth. But, like, with an ocean, well, I mean, if you do look far enough, you can in fact see, like, the curvature of the Earth, but the thing is that due to the absolute immense size of planet Earth, you pretty much have to have a pretty decent field of view for you to even be able to see the curvature of the Earth with the horizon.
We have 0 authentic pictures of the Earth, and they're all composites, and NASA even admits that they Photoshop Earth images.
It is Photoshopped, but it's has to be.
I have a feeling that that entire quote is possibly taken out of context, to be completely honest, but, like, I feel like I should just mention the composite images and the photoshopped images of the Earth are probably photoshopped so that way people can actually fucking see the Earth. Like, again, in space, it's, like, it's massive. It's also extremely dark. You have to get very far away from the Earth for you to even be able to see an image of it, and even if you do take a picture of it, it's not exactly easy to get a full picture of planet Earth. Hell, even from the moon, the Earth would end up looking like partially enshrouded in shadow because of just how light works. Like, it is, like, that's just, it's not even a problem with, like, say, you know, just like NASA photoshopping images, because he's probably saying it has to be, because if it weren't photoshopped, you probably wouldn't be able to see the entirety of the fucking planet, because most of it would be covered by fucking shadows, my guy.
On numerous occasions, NASA admits that we can't go beyond low Earth orbit, which is between 99 miles and 1,200 miles away.
At what fucking point did NASA ever claim that? Again, we've landed on the fucking moon in the past. The only reason why we don't go beyond low Earth orbit, especially when it comes to the ISS and the Hubble telescope, is largely because if it were any farther away from the planet, it would probably fly off into space, and they don't want shit like that happening. Like, it's again, there's a thing called gravity, and that's what causes shit to orbit.
No matter if you're on the ground, on top of a building, a mountain, a hot air balloon, an airplane, or looking at high-altitude amateur balloon footage, the horizon never fails to rise right to your eyes.
How the fuck does this prove that the Earth is flat? Like, yeah, the horizon is going to relatively be at eye level because that's how a horizon works, but I feel like I should also mention right here that if the Earth were flat, you would be able to see far more within each of these images than what is currently shown. And of course, you're bringing up, like, you know, high altitude and, like, you know, whatever footage of, like, the Earth. And literally earlier on, you show high altitude footage of the Earth where I can very visibly see a fucking curve. Your own footage debunks you, dude!
Whether you are looking at Toronto's skyline from Niagara-on-the-Lake, 31 miles away, Chicago's skyline from Union Pier, 43 miles away, or even Oahu from Kauai, which is up to 108 miles away from center to center, or 73 miles away from the closest points. You will not see any curvature where it's supposed to be. According to the Pythagorean theorem, which states that the curvature of the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared, Oahu should not be visible whatsoever, but you can see the whole thing.
Okay, well, I had to try and, like, look this stuff up, but there's, like, a number of different explanations as to why this even fucking happens. First of all, that entire equation is only for, like, trying to detect, like, the curvature of the Earth for, like, the first time, and from there it just kind of goes exponentially up to, like, a point. But on top of that, too, there's also, like, some sort of weird thing with, again, dare I say, light, I know, and especially whenever it comes to, like, the ocean, considering that it bounces light all over the fucking place because it's fucking water, okay? Because of that, and because of how light works, it ends up reaching a little bit farther and you can see things from farther away. It's why you get, like, those weird, funky, like, optical illusions of, like, you know, boats floating in, like, mid-air at, like, certain points of the day. But, again, I feel like I should mention the same point from earlier, that if the Earth were truly flat, you'd be able to see far more than just a fucking island from 73 miles away. You'd be able to see everything behind that island. You'd be able to see the land masses behind that island. Hell, you'd probably be able to see Hong Kong from that fucking island.
In 1887, Albert Michelson and Edward Morley conducted what's known as the Michelson-Morley experiment. This experiment was attempting to prove the speculated motion of the Earth around the Sun, and when it failed, Albert Einstein was forced to form the theory of relativity to overcome this problem. In fact, anytime mainstream science is faced with undesirable results, they create a workaround, which isn't real science at all.
Okay, I'm just gonna be completely honest, that just sounded like a ton of projection, because at the end of the day, flat earthers are like the kings of, like, coming up with numerous excuses to explain why things just don't actually make sense. Like, you know, they'll be like the first ones to claim that we need to go to Antarctica, but whenever people offer them tickets to go to Antarctica to see that it's an actual country and not just a fucking ice wall, they'll come up with, like, thousands of different excuses as to why they don't go to fucking Antarctica for one reason or another. They'll take any excuse in the book, like, you know, like one thing or another, because if they were to actually go to Antarctica and see that it is not a fucking ice wall, well, then their entire point would basically be debunked. Hell, every single, like, experiment that flat earthers have tried to do in, like, recent years to try and prove that the Earth is flat has basically fucking failed, and they've had to try and come up with as many excuses as possible to try and claim that their experiments did not fail, or that their equipment was faulty, or really anything along those lines. However, whenever it comes to whatever you just pointed out right there, those are two different fucking experiments. The theory of relativity, at least to my knowledge, has absolutely fucking nothing to do with, like, the shape of the fucking Earth. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The sun is claimed to be 93 million miles away, with a radius of over 400,000 miles, but can easily be proven to be much closer and smaller by tracing the crepuscular rays back to its origin in the sky. If the sun were indeed 93 million miles away, it would simply be impossible to have angled sun rays, as they should all consistently come in straight.
And how did you even fucking reach that conclusion? That just straight up doesn't even make any goddamn sense. In fact, if the sun were directly overhead, like a lot of flat Earth models tend to, come up with, I'm pretty sure, it would be daytime all across the planet. Like, how exactly, this is my main question for flat Earthers, right? How does the day-night cycle exactly work? Because every single model of flat Earth that I've seen shows, the sun and the moon, directly overhead. And that's not what would cause, day and night or anything along those lines at all, because it would be daylight throughout the entire planet with just, the moon sitting in the fucking air. The moon doesn't cause the night. How do you, manage to logic your way into such a dumb fucking corner?
According to the globular theory, a lunar eclipse occurs when the sun, earth, and moon are in a direct line. But it is on record that since about the 15th century, over 50 eclipses have occurred while both the sun and moon are visible above the horizon. F.H. Cook, The Terrestrial Plane.
Are you just confusing your eclipses here? I actually don't understand what this point actually is. Because a lunar eclipse can't happen without, the sun being in the air, because, again, that would completely negate the entire point. But again, I have a feeling that I'm probably completely misunderstanding something here. Maybe this point is, talking about something else completely different. As far as I know, we already know that this man just has no idea what the fuck he's even talking about.
It's a common misconception that the shadow of the Earth causes moon phases. Even the pastors and priests of the science religion readily admit this fact. The interesting thing about moon phases is that they are always the exact same 8 phases repeated. But if we were circling around the sun, these 8 phases would inevitably be reversed from the summer to winter seasons.
What? No, that's... Huh? What are you fucking talking about? No, that's not how it would work at all. The entire thing of how the moon's phases work is purely because of the, Earth's shadow casting onto the moon, and that's what causes the phases. That's why they don't suddenly reverse, because the Earth is still in front of the fucking moon at all times. How it works is the moon is revolving around the Earth, and the Earth revolves around the sun, and the Earth's shadow is what causes the moon phases, and that's why they aren't suddenly reversed during the summer and winter. What fucking logic is this? Okay then, smart guy, then how the fuck do moon phases exactly work whenever it comes to the flat Earth? What shadow is causing the fucking moon phases? Are you saying that the moon just, vanishes and then regenerates every fucking month? Is that what you're trying to claim here?
I completely understand that the idea of a flattened stationary Earth seems ridiculous in many ways.
Well, at least you said one thing correct in this entire video, and that is the fact that the flat Earth theory is in fact completely ridiculous, because so far every single bit of proof that you've literally shown off right here can literally be disproven by somebody that knows that basically knows, only a high school level of knowledge about how, light and shadows and the fucking Earth works.
But that's only because we are taught the false globe model from the very first time that we enter a school classroom. Not to mention the first time we are introduced to the concept of a flat Earth, it's depicted as a highly laughable world where ships, boats, and water would run off of the edge.
I mean, to be fair, that is a good deterrent from, causing people to believe that the fucking Earth is flat. Because, they come up with crazy theories as to why people haven't fallen off of the fucking planet yet. None of those theories can actually be properly proven, because they keep on, refusing any kind of way to actually try and prove said theory.
So I do get it, but it's all part of the deception. I've spent 30 years of my life believing that we were on a spinning globe. It wasn't until I unbiasedly and scientifically investigated the Flat Earth claims that I started to realize that there is more to this theory than I originally gave it credit for.
Okay, just real quick question. How do you investigate a flat Earth theory and then magically come to the conclusion that somehow the Earth is flat? What, did you, like, put a level on the fucking Earth and it revealed to be level and that's how you fucking came to the conclusion that, oh my god, the Earth is flat because the Earth is, because the current place I'm standing on is level and I don't understand how the fuck gravity works? Like, I really have to wonder how people come to, conclude that the Earth is flat. Do they just bash their head against a fucking wall until, like, their brains become actual fucking tomato paste?
With all that said, please continue to research critically and don't be afraid to ask reasonable questions and speak out.
Okay, well, throughout this entire video, I have actually, asked some genuine fucking questions. Like, how does the sun and the moon work? How do the moon phases fucking work on the, flat Earth? Why do you keep on refusing? Why do flat earthers keep on refusing to go to Antarctica in order for them to try and prove that that Antarctica is actually an ice wall and that there's actually some sort of a dome that keeps us from falling off the fucking planet? Why have they refused so many opportunities to try and actually prove their point, yet they never fucking take it? Like, they have the opportunity to do so, they have the opportunity to even possibly go into fucking space in order to have their, hypotheses supposedly either proven or disproven, but of course, they don't take it. Probably because even they know that their claims are fucking ridiculous. But that's basically where the video ends. Overall, it's about as dumb as you could expect. Apparently, this was my first foray into commentary, and even 6 to 7 years later, my brain feels like it has just been fried by this video. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter or join the Discord server. I also have a Blue Sky now if you feel like following me there, because Twitter is just kind of falling apart at the moment, so I'll probably end up being a lot more active over there, so if you care enough, go ahead and make an account and follow me there, I guess. I also have channel memberships now, so go ahead and become a channel member. I currently have 2 channel members, and I might as well give a special thanks to them. Special thanks to Gruesome and MadFox94 for becoming fantastic channel members. If it weren't for individuals like you, then, well, the channel memberships list would probably be a little bit empty. So yeah, I'm gonna try and use the channel memberships stuff a little bit more. I'm gonna try and, like, get videos out a little bit sooner and whatnot, so that way the channel memberships thing actually becomes a little bit more useful, because as of right now, it's just mainly people get, like, a couple hours early access to, like, new videos before they become available to the public, so there you go. But anyways, guys, that's basically about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.